Hugo Munthe Kaas, i nostri partner norvegesi di Oslo, dello studio Thommessen.
Thank you. Thank you. I just had to hear the translation, but now I understood you introduced me, so that's fantastic. I think since we're a bit over time, I will just make a short comment to give some more flavor to the excellent presentation of Carolina. I'm from Norway, and we're just next to Sweden. But unlike Sweden, we have actually now got a security law, meaning that we have a law that governs foreign investment screening. And as has been said here today, I mean, it came really quick. It was really under the radar. There's really been not that much of a debate in Norway about the law, and the provisions that govern the ownership control, as it is called in Norway, is quite hidden, quite back, a few chapters back in the law. And so that might be a reason. The law went into force on the 1st of January 2019, this year. And the main purpose of the law is basically to secure Norwegian national interests, meaning they want to protect, the law wants to protect the Norwegian people, Norwegian business, the Norwegian infrastructure, political system, and the country as a whole. So it's very broad. I mean, the law is a bit vague as well, because of course it's not easy to know how to protect against all types of security risks that might come along. The law is applicable to government entities, to suppliers that want to supply services or goods to sensitive projects, but also to private companies. And here's the key and sort of the big issue, or the first big issue with this law in Norway. There are also investment control regulations in this law, and they are applicable to the private companies that are subject to the law. So the question is, of course, which Norwegian companies are subject to this security law? Well, since the law came into force on the 1st of January, the Norwegian government has basically been sitting down behind closed doors, and they're making a list of all the Norwegian companies that shall be subject to the law. And these are companies that are typically, they deal with sensitive information, or they control or own sensitive objects, infrastructure, data systems, or they have a function in society which is important for the national security of Norway. But of course, they're making a list, and it's uncertain. I had a call with them just a week ago to sort of hear how long or how far they've come in this process, and they're still working on it. No answers. The companies that eventually will come on this list, they will get some duties. They will have to have a risk assessment to see what risks they are exposed to. They will have to document this, and they will have to implement procedures and mitigating actions to handle these risks. And of course, they will also be subject to ownership control, which is the most important, really. Meaning that if any Norwegian or foreign company would like to buy more than 1/3 of the shares or get equivalent control of such a company, they will have to send a notice to the Norwegian government and ask if it's okay. And the Norwegian government, they will either approve it or they will send it to the cabinet, where actually the cabinet and the king will decide whether he doesn't have any actual power, but that's actually what's stated in the law. And they will decide whether the transaction may threaten Norwegian security interests in any way. And if they think that it may threaten Norwegian interests, the security interests, then they can forbid the transaction from taking place. So I mean, and I don't think I will say any more than that, but it's a law, it's very broad, it gives very broad powers to the Norwegian government, who owns most of the big Norwegian, or has controlled most of the big Norwegian companies anyway, so they have a lot of control. Of course, it's another symptom of the times that we are in, basically. Yes. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Hugo.